Another loss?
You got General Patton, Eisenhower. The last word is the people on the front line who stuck their neck out, put their life on the line, they respected these people. You can be the most knowledgeable trainer in the world, but in the long run, if your fighter looks back, he doesn't have no respect, you better change. And that's what happened with Oscar. He would not listen to these guys. They had lost respect, lost the respect that he had for them.
So at the end of the day, the fighter must have people that he's confident in.
You must respect. Top generals, they're not the most knowledgeable people, but the fighting guys, they respect them.
And Oscar says he has that with Floyd Mayweather Sr., and it's a mark of Oscar's star power and the trappings that his new structure want to bring to him. Larry Merchant, HBO boxing analyst, that the guy who has been perhaps the most entertaining fighter in the sport over the last 6 years, Arturo Gatti, is a bit player in the promotion that leads up to this drama. But Gatti's paycheck here tonight, $1.5 million, is by far the largest money he's ever collected to fight. You could see it as a reward for all the drama he created as a blood and guts lightweight. What does he bring to this tussle against a stylish welterweight?
Well, for one thing, pound for pound, he's got the biggest cojones in the sport. He also brings a kind of subversive what if. Unthinkably, what if he were to win this fight? Wow. All those lawsuits with all those zeros on them, all the best laid plans whacked out. And no more Oscar-only posters ignoring the opponent, as though they were selling a new men's fragrance. Hero. But the stubborn fact is that the stubborn facts, caliber of opposition, offense, defense, are not on Gatti's side. What is on his side is his stubbornness. Pure, glorious, if I'm in a fight, I might as well fight to the end. Stubbornness. He is Rocky. And Oscar De La Hoya, on this Oscar weekend, is another Oscar caliber film, The Golden Boy.
A good old film. And incidentally, one more thing Gatti has is the love of his fight fans, who took the original odds makers numbers of 30-1 in favor of De La Hoya for this fight and have by fight time bet them down to only 8-1 in favor of De La Hoya. There was a lot of Gatti money pouring into the sports books here in Las Vegas today as the question arises, how serious is Oscar about continuing his boxing career? We'll get the first evidence here tonight as we look at the tail of the tape for Oscar De La Hoya against Arturo Gatti. They're both 28 years old. De La Hoya with a 2.5-inch height advantage and a 5-inch reach advantage. Gatti said, I'd be crazy to try to think I can box Oscar De La Hoya. I've got to get inside that length and quickness. They both weighed in at or within a pound of the welterweight limit, and Arturo Gatti will not be putting on 17, 18 pounds between the weigh-in and the fight at this weight level, the way he was at 130, 135, and 140. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
A look at their activity. As you can see, Gatti much more active, but against a different caliber of opposition. Here is the most important number, the defense. And Arturo Gatti can be hit, is often hit. That's why he bleeds like the Red Sea and his eyes puff up like a frog in heat.
Amphibian. And a comment on judging from our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Okay, Jim, we want to take this time to go over the 4 points that the judges are going to use to score each individual round. The first thing is clean punching, clean, effective punching. The second thing, effective aggressiveness. The third thing, ring generalship. And the fourth, defense. And although they're supposed to count equally, the judges always give more weight to clean, effective punching. Jim.
All right, Harold, and as you watch tonight at home, you can log on to hbo.com/boxing for live trainer audio, CompuBox punch stats, a live chat. You can also log on to AOL and score tonight's fight. You be Harold Letterman. Vote now with results given after each round and at the end of tonight's fight. On AOL. Nice look at the Strip. Gorgeous weekend in Las Vegas. There are rumors that the ticket sales for this fight have not been as brisk as might have been expected for Oscar De La Hoya's return to the ring. There's a look at Gatti and his record away to this, the overwhelming bulk of his career, fighting 2 weight classes south of here at lightweight, or even 3 weight classes south South at junior lightweight. Arturo Gatti of Montreal.
There are 1,000 guys with title belts these days, and a few fighters with what seems like 1,000 belts these days. But Arturo Gatti is the kind of fighter who the fans give a belt to.
And as you watch him enter the ring, you're looking at Gatti's Achilles heel right in front of you, because his face cuts and bleeds, in fact, so routinely that the comic line on Gatti is that he bleeds upon leaving the dressing room. For his part, Arturo said, I know that Oscar's people think they've got an easy fight here because I always cut. I know how to handle it.
Oscar De La Hoya may dare to be great. Arturo Gatti has dared to be brave.
Gatti claims that he turned down a chance to fight Sugar Shane Mosley for numbers similar to the money he's getting here tonight because he felt De La Hoya would be the easier opponent. And here's a look at the record for Arturo Gatti. A loss early in his career to King Solomon, 2 losses by decision to Ivan Robinson. Both of them were unbelievable wars, tumultuous fights, and an 8th round TKO at the hands of Angel Manfredi, who cut him in the first round with a big right hand. And despite the rumors of slow ticket sales, it appears to our observation that the arena is full or nearly so, substantiating Oscar De La Hoya's assertion yesterday that the rumors were false and it would be a sellout.
I've learned there are about 10,000 tickets sold, which is beneath the standard he used to have, but given what some recent fights and some very good fights have attracted here in Vegas, way above the recent standard for other fighters.
His conqueror, Shane Mosley, struggled to fill a 2,500-seat arena a couple of weeks ago at Caesar's Palace, a point which Oscar was at pains to point out to everybody this week.
Oscar De La Hoya is so used to all the attention he gets. He said to me the other day, Jim, that when he didn't get it all before the Mosley fight, when Mosley got more of it than most of his opponents have, he started right at that point to feel uncomfortable and suspicious, which led him to believe, at least for a moment, that maybe there was something funny going on with the decision. For this fight, he's back where he wants to be. He has all the attention.
You know, Larry, every boxer believes that once he loses, that the promoter did something. That's just the way we think. We all think like that.
Well, I think human beings tend to rationalize their flaws, their losses, and certainly athletes are no different.
We think, I didn't lose.
Hey, if there's any experience which demands that you believe in yourself, this is it, right? You wouldn't go through the ropes if you didn't.
That's right.
So now, for the first time in 8 months, De La Hoya goes through the ropes into a prize ring. Gatti says he'll be rusty. De La Hoya says, I'll be better than ever because I've got a better trainer than I ever had. 32 wins, the losses to Trinidad and Mosley, 26 KOs, and the quest for titles in 5 different weight classes continues for De La Hoya, who says that if he wins this fight, he'll be headed up to 154 pounds to seek a title there. And now let's go up to official ring announcer Michael Buffer for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the MGM Grand Casino Hotel, the city of entertainment here in the city of Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Univision Sports is proud to present, in association with Main Events and Corona Extra, 12 rounds of boxing, world-class boxing in the welterweight division. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, in memory of Bill Berger and Bob Waring. The 3 judges assigned to ringside, scoring this bout on the 10-point must system will be Chuck Jampa, Dave Moretti, and Paul Smith. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Jay Nady. And now, for the thousands in attendance here at the MGM Grand and the millions watching around the world on HBO, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, out of the blue corner, wearing white trimmed with blue and weighing in at 146 pounds. He has an outstanding professional record consisting of 33 victories, including 22 of those 27 KOs came in 3 rounds or less. He's known to fans around the world as a throwback to another era. With his heart, ferocious punching power, and sheer determination, he is recognized as the ultimate blood and guts warrior. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pride of Jersey City, New Jersey, the former junior lightweight champion of the world, Arturo "Thunder" Gatti. Across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing burgundy, trimmed with gold and weighing in at 147 pounds. He captured Olympic gold in 1992. And now, as a professional in 34 bouts, he has 32 victories, including 26 knockouts. His only 2 defeats were by disputed decisions. In 21 bouts, a world title was on the line, and he won 5 championships in 4 divisions. He returns to the ring tonight, resolved to once again march forward on the path to glory. Ladies and gentlemen, from East LA, presenting the 5-time champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Okay, do we have any questions? Okay, the belly button is the line. You're a little bit above the belly button, but not very much the hip bone. We have 12 rounds. Obey my commands. Touch gloves, let's go to work.
Let's go.
The first thing to look for in this fight is whether Gatti can deal with Oscar De La Hoya's excellent jab. If he can't deal with the jab, it will be short and bloody.
5 years ago, when Oscar De La Hoya first fought Julio Cesar Chavez here in Las Vegas, he cut him in the first 30 seconds of the fight with a jab. No one at ringside would be tremendously shocked if De La Hoya cut Gatti in the first round. First landed punch is a jab by Gatti.
That's not a good sign when you have a superior jabber comes in and let his opponent get the initial jab in.
Gatti's thunder is largely found in his big left hook. And if Arturo has a puncher's chance here, as even his most ardent supporters will acknowledge is probably the case, that punch is the left hook.
Now, the one thing that De La Hoya didn't do originally was jab to the body good. He'd always have an excellent jab on top. This time he's gone to the body. You take chances when you reach down there into those little guys' territory.
Against 130 and 135-pound fighters, Gatti always looked bigger and stronger than his opponents. Now, for the first time, he faces off against a man naturally larger than himself.
You think about it, Oscar De La Hoya is moving his head, bobbing and weaving. He's got the height advantage. You don't want that.
Right hand for De La Hoya. Floyd Mayweather Jr. promises that Oscar will make his seemingly underdeveloped right hand into a much bigger weapon in this phase of his career.
Gatti has always been vulnerable to the right hand, Jim.
Angel Man Freddie hurt Gatti with the right hand early, and that punch ultimately led to Gatti's demise. Big left hook by Gatti.
The first thing I notice is that Gatti is doing more ducking and head movement to avoid the jab, and that's why De La Hoya has been unable to establish it as yet.
And the problem with that is De La Hoya is bending his knees to try to jab. You don't want to give up your height advantage to a puncher. Let him reach and miss up on top. Don't be down there where he wants you.
Right hand inside by Gatti. De La Hoya flicked him with a left.
Oscar gives up his jab. He's just an ordinary boxer out there fighting for his life. He gives up his reach. He's got his legs spread far apart.
Now De La Hoya lands his first effective combination and crumbles Gatti with a trademark left hook. And Oscar De La Hoya left hook, too big for Gatti. And there's blood flowing already from under Arturo Gatti's right eye. Body left hook, upstairs combinations. Can Gatti finish the round?
Remember, Gatti has been there before.
De La Hoya fireworks in the last 30 seconds of round one. There's the blood under Gatti's eye.
You're waiting. Right there, you stand out too straight. Go. Work in, go. Work in. Come in. Go. Come in. Come in. Hurry up.
Joe Souza, the cut man, using a 1 pound end swell
He's scared of it.
on Gatti.
Right hand left hook. And then use your measure, huh? Bang, okay? All right, good. Use your jab. Keep doing like
Another look at the knockdown, Larry.
Gatti was doing excellently until he stood straight up and caught that left hook late in the round. Up until that time, he had fought what for him would be regarded as a perfect round.
Oscar De La Hoya is a welterweight with a middleweight left hook. And that left hook was the difference in round one.
The problem for Gatti is he has to fight a perfect fight to have any chance to stay here.
And now Gatti comes out winging shots from both sides, seemingly already ready to let it go for broke. A very busy Oscar De La Hoya threw 73 punches in round one and looks energetic at the beginning of round two as well. Oh, an uppercut, right hand uppercut by Gatti momentarily stumbled Oscar.
box.
De La Hoya going to the body with the jab again, George.
That's his weapon. You want to keep that jab, but the difference is he's going to the body with it.
Sets up a
Gatti goes to the body with a right hand. And that takes a difference when you're throwing 5 and 6 combinations. You get hit to the body, then you start getting winded.
Crowd erupts as Gatti tries to come back over the top of Oscar's guard. And pops De La Hoya with 2 jabs.
I don't like Oscar being hit with left jabs by a shorter opponent. It just doesn't work.
Well, he's leaning in, George. He's almost leaning over that front foot.
Not good at all.
That's okay.
Leans in, goes to the body. Double shot to the body. 2
Right
big
hand.
hands upstairs.
Something new, a right hand.
Absolutely. He has mixed in the right hand much more effectively here than ever before.
Here's a guy, Gatti, who's been on the floor. He's gotten up before in his life. It's been for him. Only what have you done to me lately, not what you did.
No, in a way, the farther he falls behind on the scorecards, the more dangerous Gatti will become. Because he'll get more reckless.
He has a left hook.
Watch your heads.
Question will be, how long can Gatti last in the fight with the blood flowing the way it is? But the big gash is under his eye, not above it.
Ooh,
excellent
goes to
body
the body.
shots. And another right hand to the body. De La Hoya has clearly worked to make the right hand better.
I like he throws his punches and step back and invites the guy to come in for more.
Come on, don't push him off like that.
Another big left hook upstairs. Wobbles Arturo Gatti as the bell sounds for round 2. Next Wednesday, check out another edition of the new one-of-a-kind series On the Record with Bob Costas. Last week, Bob talked with baseball Superman Mark McGwire and with Jersey's other boss, Highway 9's Bruce Springsteen. And did you see Bob's conversation a couple weeks ago with Vince McMahon? The show is live, so don't miss it on Wednesdays at 11 p.m. only on HBO.
We're okay.
Start coming, okay? I told you, couple wrong with him. He's going too quick. You understand what I say? Come on, Pop. Move that head, okay? And work with him. Make him miss and hit it.
Look at me. Look at me.
Okay? We start coming. Work the body more. Work the body more. Okay? Real good. Keep your
I
head
copy
moving,
box
okay?
numbers in round number 2. De La Hoya landed 32 of 42 power shots,
Seconds out.
substantiating the pre-fight observation that Gatti is an easy target, particularly for a precise sharpshooter like De La Hoya.
Remember, Gotti is only one good left hook from being into the fight. Doesn't mind being punished and coming back.
Gatti trying to unload a big right hand. As we told you, you can score on AOL. 15% of you gave the first round to Arturo Gatti.
We're not in the
All right,
break.
the second round, I should say. Second round to Arturo Gatti. Those 15% may need a little more training in scoring fights.
Oscar's doing a good job of jabbing, and moving out.
You know,
Not staying in there to get hit back.
in a previous exchange, Gatti hit De La Hoya with a really good shot. De La Hoya shook it off easily.
Gatti suggested to us in our meeting, he said, I'm a big puncher. Oscar's never been hit by a puncher as big as me. I'm thinking he fought Felix Trinidad. Maybe Gatti forgot about that. There's a big right hand by De La Hoya. And Gotti's
He didn't rush him. Oscar didn't rush him. The first time he's taken his time, and after he's hurt him, took his time to start all that. That's the new Oscar.
And Gatti seems totally unprepared for Oscar's right hand leads. Why wouldn't he be? You don't exactly go into a fight with De La Hoya saying, I'm worried about his right hand.
Yeah, but Jim, every fighter he's ever fought has hit him with that punch.
Every fighter who's ever fought Gatti has hit him with that punch,
Yeah.
right? Okay. I hear what you're saying, Larry. Don't get ecstatic about De La Hoya's right hand against
I
Gatti.
mean, his left hand is low. I mean, it's good that Oscar's using it because he's been a one-handed fighter, and I don't think you can beat the best fighters in the world with one hand.
No, it was painfully apparent against Mosley. Another big combination by De La Hoya. Gatti taking a beating as round 3 progresses.
Oscar does his combinations and back and invites this guy in for more. We never saw that with Oscar.
Don't punch.
He would burn himself
Don't
out
push
trying
out.
to finish a guy off. This time, he takes his time, starts all over again.
Big left hook lands upstairs. Side. Gatti lands a left. De La Hoya comes back with a right and a left of his own. Uppercut misses just short.
Oscar, you gotta watch that shoulder.
Blood and swelling.
There's now some
Seemingly bothering
blood
Gatti just a little.
trickling from De La
Oscar, go over
Hoya's
there.
nose.
Come look at me. Come to me.
Here comes the ring doctor.
There's another up inside. It's okay. We're okay. Time in. Roll it. Box.
Huge left hook by Gatti. De La Hoya comes back with one of his own. Straight right hand lands flush.
Time.
Well, we knew it would be entertaining.
Well, if you took 10 to 1 odds, you feel you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Good. Good job. Look at man.
Here's De La Hoya with that straight right hand. You hear, however, in the corner, how Floyd Mayweather Sr. is telling him, stop getting into exchanges. Box him.
There's the De La Hoya combination that punctuated the round later on. Yeah, it's a good point. The crowd is ecstatic, George. Floyd Mayweather Sr. is not all that impressed.
Not at all. You don't want a good boxer to get out there in those exchanges. That's the only way that Gotti can get into this fight. In the exchanges.
Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Look at Jim, real quick, 3-0, 30-26, Oscar De La Hoya.
Stop that!
It's 10-8 round for De La Hoya because of the knockdown of round 1. Jim, Oscar, he turns that shoulder and watch, he'll shove off with the left shoulder. Maybe he keeps warning him for it.
Well, he's not shoving off. This guy comes into his shoulder.
Gatti lands a left hook lead. De La Hoya shrugs it off. Kinds of punches which were devastating to Gatti's opponents at 135. De La Hoya has handled with ease so far. Blocking Gatti's left hand with his right there. Gatti trying to go to the body.
Gatti has already won the crowd. Once again, for his bravery, you hear them chanting, Gatti, Gatti. Blood now coming from De La Hoya's mouth as well as a trickle from his nose.
De La Hoya using his right hand to parry Gatti's punches and looking for a chance to pot shot with the left. Gatti swinging big with the wheelie off his cheek and into his mouth.
Oscar's jabbing low, and then coming up with the right hand, which is new to him.
So already Floyd Mayweather has made a mark on De La Hoya, who lands a left and momentarily freezes Gatti, comes back with a left and a right. Body shot, right, left upstairs, Gatti taking the punches. They cheered for the Gladiators too in Rome. They didn't have much of a chance with the Lions in the ring.
When you're throwing hard shots like Oscar's doing, it's like sprinting. You got to wait a second and get your breath back. That's when Gotti should attack. Once he's done, get right back on him. The only thing that Oscar stopped using his left jab, which is not good for Oscar. If you want to coast, you use your jab.
Straight right hand lands again for De La Hoya.
One thing I've noticed about De La Hoya is he seems a little bit more relaxed than he usually is, George. He doesn't have his...
You want to relax with your jab on your opponent, though.
Tremendous combination by De La Hoya. Gatti hanging in, but how much more of this can Arturo take?
Okay, go.
Let me get in there.
You all right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's all right. Good?
Good. Left hook right in. His head is okay?
Good.
He ain't got much left.
Just careful.
Sometimes when you're getting hurt, Oscar, you got to get the killer instinct like you did when you fight Cortez. You hurt him, he on his knee, jump on him, okay?
Okay, here we see late in the round, De La Hoya husbanding his strength for an end of the round barrage.
Typically, Arturo Gatti's opponents land more than half of their punches on Gatti. If you notice the connect numbers from CompuBox for De La Hoya in the first 4 rounds, he is over 60% since round 1. In other words, he can't miss.
The only thing that is going to discourage Gatti is for Oscar to start circling him with that left jab. Stop moving backwards because you give him more courage.
Straight right hand lands again for De La Hoya, who has blood trickling from the outside of his left eye.
Well, that's when you get your jab and start dropping one hand, that's what happens.
Whatever happens from here on, and De La Hoya certainly is in a commanding position, I don't think he expected this kind of a rough fight.
When you're off for 9 months or so like that, every fight is going to be rough like that.
Target practice. Target practice as De La Hoya goes to the body and the head. Drives Gotti into the ropes. And the towel comes in from Gotti's corner, and De La Hoya has a 5th round TKO. Hector Roca, Arturo Gotti's trainer, had seen enough. And Gotti's infuriated, but Roca made a humane decision for his fighter, who was getting tattooed.
He was being tattooed by a puncher. Not just a boxer who throws a lot of punches, but a puncher who's throwing devastating punches to your body and to your head. Stop it. You can always recover from a loss, but you can't recover from these major injuries in boxing.
And Gotti smiles through the pain as always. De La Hoya gets the spectacle he wanted on his return to the ring. Closing the show, 26 power shots in that merciless round.
I think he'll regard it as an encouraging return. Give him something to build on. Maybe he tried some new things out there. Maybe he caught some punches he's not used to getting punched, shed a little bit of blood. He's back in the fight game, George.
Welcome back.
This is not in a sound studio.
No.
Well,
Gotti was a lot more
frankly,
than we all thought he would be, that's for sure.
losses or no, fans love De La Hoya, and they will love the performance that he provided tonight. Here's part of the work he did in closing the show by landing 24 of 26 power shots against an utterly defenseless Arturo Gatti.
What really turned the tide was all of those hard body punches. In the corner saw that, hey, this guy's going to get weaker and weaker and weaker, because those shots will drain your puncher and your fighter and get him hurt. If it was just a head shots, maybe, but this was a body attack like I haven't seen in a long time. Relentless body attack.
Oscar De La Hoya putting an effective straight right hand with not as much boxing, not as much work with the jab as we might have expected to see in the past, but a spectacular victory, the particulars of which we'll get from Michael Buffer right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the official time, a round of applause, please, for 2 welterweights who went toe-to-toe while it lasted without 1 second of break. Oscar De La Hoya and Arturo Thunder Gatti. Referee Jay Nady calls a halt to the bout at 1 minute and 16 seconds of round number 5. The winner by TKO victory. He is now on the road back from East LA, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Final CompuBox numbers, and I suspect, without knowing for sure, that De La Hoya is near a record for accuracy, particularly fight of this distance. 192 out of 308 overall. Gatti landing 87 out of 308. So a difference of 105 punches landed, and they threw exactly the same number. And here's the power punch category, where De La Hoya landed 2/3 of his power punches. You know, you might not do much better than that hitting the heavy bag. So let's go to Larry Merchant with Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Oscar. How did it feel to be back in the ring? Blood, guts, cheers, the whole package.
Oh, it feels good. First of all, just a little word in Spanish. Gracias, se llenó la arena. Gracias por mis fans. Los agradezco mucho y vamos a regresar como campeones, como nunca, más fuertes y para ustedes. I felt good. I felt, but like I said before, it's only the beginning with Mayweather. I move my head more, but we still have to move on our toes more. We have to use more distance, more feints, a lot more. I only learned about 10% with Mayweather with this camp.
Was this more of a battle than you expected?
Oh, no, God, he's a tough guy. You guys all know that. He can take a punch. He's a strong Italian kid, and I give him all the credit in the world. But I knew that coming all along. Mayweather kept on telling me, throw your jab, more jab, more jab. Land that right hand. It's going to count.
He hit you with some good square shots. Didn't seem to phase you a lot, but did you feel any of them?
They weren't square, because what we're learning with Mayweather is to brush off the punches. Even though they hit you, they're not solid. They're brushing off, keeping that, scoring off with the man and not letting him hit you. So, but he's a strong guy. He can hit.
So, do you feel somehow that this was like you dove into the pool again and you're all wet and you're ready to go?
We have a long way to go, baby. A long way to go. I can't wait to get to the top once again with Mayweather.
Talk to us about your plans. You want to fight one of the 154-pound titleists, Castillejo of Spain. Is that your next goal?
That's my next fight, Castillejo 154. We want to build up and try to make history in boxing. Not too many guys can win many world titles in different weight classes, so I want to be one of the first in many years. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. A lot of fighters did, so I want to go back to the top and make history.
Talk to us about your plans after that, either for your rematches, either with Trinidad or Mosley.
Mayweather wants Trinidad first because of the way he beat me. He beat me first, then Shane Mosley. But as they fall, as long as I'm learning with Mayweather, I feel unstoppable in my mind.
There are some people I've talked to in your camp who think Mosley would be a better, stronger guy at 154. He's fighting at 160. If he goes through with the middleweight tournament well into the fall, would you fight? Would you then decide to fight Mosley first?
Whichever one falls first. Whichever one comes first. The situation has to be perfect. The situation has to be right. I was focusing on Gotti. I was training hard for Gotti. Everybody was looking past him and this and that. But no, we knew he was a tough guy. And so now I want to focus now on Castillejo. That's the guy to focus on. And then we'll negotiate with Mosley or Trinidad.
Thank you very much again. Congratulations, Oscar.
Pura raza.
All right, Arturo Gotti, you weren't very happy that they stopped the fight at the end, Arturo. Were you hurting? Do you think now, with a few minutes hindsight, they did the right thing?
Well, I could have kept going, but I could have gone hurt, if I kept going. But my trainer Hector Roca, decided that I had enough, and I respect his judgment. That's why I have him in my corner.
Tell us about fighting Oscar De La Hoya. You hit him, it seemed to me, with some really hard, clean shots, but he was able to deal with it.
Well, I think that the defense, I never really hit him flush, and I expected him to be a little bit slower than I was, and he surprised me with his hand speed. But he's a great fighter, I have nothing against. And, I believed I belonged in the same ring as he do, and it was a great fight. He just had faster hands than I did.
Nobody needs to motivate you, but they were saying a lot of nasty things to you before the fight. They were ignoring you before the fight, almost as if you were a bit player in his drama. Did that at all motivate you?
Of course, think that was just a step to something else, motivate me a bit. But just fighting Oscar De La Hoya, that's a motivation. If you don't get motivated by fighting against Oscar, you'll never get motivated. All
right, let's look at the first round. You seem to have a pretty good plan and be working very well in the first round until the end of the round. What happened?
Well, it's when I got cut. I thought it was really severe, and then as soon as I start backing away, that's when he caught me with that right hand, the uppercut, and put me down.
So it was the left uppercut.
Left uppercut that put me down.
That did the job.
It really hurt, but it's the cut that. He cut me really severe when I went down.
And this is the barrage in the last round.
Yes. He hit me to the body, a few good shots. I wasn't coming back with punches, so, my corner did the right thing. I could have kept going, but, we'll never know what could have happened to me.
So we can assume now that we're going to see more of Arturo Gotti?
Definitely. I feel good. I could have kept going. And 147 pounds is a good weight for me.
Thank you so much again for another gutsy fight.
It's a pleasure being on HBO. Thank you, Larry.
Jim?
All right, George Foreman, it's one of the oldest tenets in the sport. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But here at age 28, and you pointed it out from the very beginning, Oscar showed us new stuff. Notably,
a lot of new stuff.
Jabbing to the body, the use of the right hand, the straight right hand leads, et cetera, et cetera. Now, could he go into the ring and do that against a Mosley or a Trinidad, or was he able to do it here only because this guy's such an easy target?
Well, he's already shown us that he could do it with those guys. Remember, he's already fought them. Of course, he didn't get the decision. Maybe he's got something in the repertoire even more so now to make them more effective. So I think the future is very bright for Oscar.
And it does look like a good chemistry. At least what we saw looks like an excellent chemistry between Oscar and Mayweather Sr.
Oh, Oscar's there. I'm telling you, and the promoters better look out. There's a new kid on the block. What's his name?
Oscar
Jerry
De La Hoya?
Parencio.
Oh, Jerry Parencio.
He did this.
He did indeed make the fight. Larry Merchant, your take on the return of the hero.
Well, I would say it was the return of the star first. I think he did a good job. I'm not as prepared as you and George, perhaps, to say this is a great marriage yet. That will be tested when he fights the top guys. You know, we've heard this song before. We've heard him almost cruelly put down his past trainers. So I just thought, in tribute to that I would say, I think I probably need a new producer because this guy isn't doing it as well for me, and maybe a new director as well. And Jim, I don't know what you've done for me lately either.
Yeah, hey, listen, I would blame me for virtually everything bad that's ever happened to you, Larry.
Yeah, so if I've had a bad show...
I think George and I are saying it's a good marriage tonight, but even we will withhold judgment and see what happens in the future. Probably the wise choice, right?
All right, if I've had a bad show, we know whose fault it is.
It's mine. And for my next mistake, I will lead you to a look at upcoming boxing programming right here on HBO.